I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Everybody can please remain standing. I'd like to call a moment of silence for Lori Lear and Ruben Marsh. Thank you. So you can please roll call.
Sure. Councilmember Laura Burrell,
Here.
Councilman Tom Magdaleno,
Present.
Councilman Chris Dickey,
Here.
Councilman Frank Montaleo,
Here.
and Supervisor Mr. Pizzolato.
Yes, I do. Just on a personal note, I don't know, I'm sure Lori and Ruben touched many of your lives, but Lori was one of my first friends in town. I don't know if you guys remember when she was a bartender at Under the Pines. And she could make a mean Manhattan. When I came to town, I brought my father, and yeah, she was our bartender, and we made friends, and I know other members of the town board are very close to Lori and the family. So my regards will go out to anybody who's related to her or experienced her as friends, and obviously there's a big gap in her collective town's heart when it comes in the process, especially somebody who's influential as too. Do I have a motion to approve the June 9th minutes? I'll make a motion. Okay, do I have a second? I'll second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. You can see here we have our emergency service calls. It's been a pretty active summer, so we just want to say thank you to all our emergency services. The calls are listed. Despite information that got out there earlier, we didn't meet earlier today about comprehensive planning. Today we just passed a resolution in local law for we didn't actually pass it, we're about to go on for fingerprinting and background checks for constabularies. So this time I did want to schedule our public hearing for our comprehensive plan. The town board is receiving a draft of the comprehensive plan this evening. And there are a couple of call outs that Carol wanted to be known that I can send to the board. But as you're reviewing, we're waiting for a simple update on the geology from the county, from the Division of Planning, some terrain updates, the hydrology study that we have on hand. The land use needs to be updated in open spaces and largest parcels and landowners. But for the most part, this has been a 2.5-year process that the town board has taken on in the assignment of a comprehensive plan committee. I'm really proud of our work. We've been able to update it. We've been able to look at future challenges. We've had a lot of people kind of get on the bus and then take off. So I just wanted to give a brief thank you to everybody who's worked on the comprehensive plan in general. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the Town of Highland Comprehensive Plan Committee is Carol Roy, who's I think is our committee chair. She's also a retired planner from the Sullivan County Planning Department. Lana Bordelot, Justin Bruntage, Heather Jackson, who's also one of the planning commissioners as part of the Sullivan County Planning Department, also lives in town. Planning Board Chair Jeff Spitz, Planning Board Member Travis Steinman, Deputy Town Clerk Melissa Dunlinger, who's also been acting as our comprehensive planning secretary, and myself had worked over the past 2.5 years. Our SWAT session committee was Heather Jackson, Town Clerk Sonia Kidney, Dawn Payne, Carol Lloyd, Matt Salusto, Jeffrey Spitz, Deputy Clerk Melissa Dunlinger, and myself, Supervisor Pizzolato. We want to thank everybody for their involvement, specific call outs for the Delaware Company. And the Eldred Central School District for their space rental, as well as with Raymond, who advised us on wetlands. He's a wetland specialist. And the Hudson Valley Regional Council, who administers the NYSERDA grants, which we were awarded as an energy smart community, and we're still building on points there too. So this has been a real labor of love. I'm really excited for the town board to review it. They'll call out any substantive changes that they see over the week, and then they'll produce this online on Friday. We'll put a draft copy of it. It is a draft. Comprehensive plans, it's advisable from the state that they act as living documents. So if new challenges come to pass, we're able to review those challenges as a town board and implement those in our comprehensive plan. You know, like something like data centers really hit us like a speeding train where everybody, you know, probably in January this year was like, what the hell's a data center? And now it seems to be like a central focus in a lot of these communities. So there's new challenges, new technologies all the time, and we want to be able to address those. So this is a true living document, but it will be made available to the public on Friday. And I just wanted to see if we could set our town board hearing, public hearing for the comprehensive plan. I was thinking we would do it before the meeting in August 11th at 6 p.m. Does that work for everybody? Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so there it is. We will be having our public hearing for the comprehensive plan on August 11th at 6 p.m. And we should be back in town hall by then, but we will advise on our Facebook page and on our town board website, and I'll put it on my page as well. What the location will be. We hope to have it in town hall and the beautiful new facility. Excited about that. There's some correspondence here in our packets. You'll see a letter that we issued to the party chairs of the Democratic, Conservative, and Republican parties for political activity going on during the Memorial Day celebration. That was advised by several members of the public that witnessed it at the Memorial Day celebration. It was brought to us to the town board. We discussed it in workshop and meeting, passed a resolution to send a letter. So that letter went out at 7 p.m. to the chairman of the Conservative, Democratic, and Republican parties for the record. And if you turn this over, there's some great news. The town obviously hosts the elections at town hall. And so there was specific call outs from some of the people who worked on the election inspectors. Melissa Denlinger and the clerk's office really went above and beyond to make sure that they were fed throughout the day. I don't know if you guys have ever worked on something like this, but they're open from 5 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning till 9 p.m. at night, and they're trapped in the space with little breaks. And so the clerk's office definitely provided some much needed respite. So thank you for doing that. A couple new things have come up just over the last 24 hours. We found out from our insurance company that we can claim, we can put in a claim for the Uline sign. I don't know if you guys saw, but over the July 4th weekend, the Uline sign was severely damaged. It was cracked in half. Right now it just says welcome. We have had a design sort of motif that matches all the other wayfinding signs designed since 2019 when we got the plans in progress grant via the Greater Berryville Chamber of Commerce for the Berryville sign. Doreen Warner, who was our vice president at the time, designed like a whole motif of matching signs. So you'll see the entryway signs for Highland in general at the different entry points in town. There's a new one by the Road Bridge. There's one on 55. There's one on Proctor Road. The one on Beaver Brook in Newland didn't get replaced because it's a scout project and there was some sentimental ties to that. And we were able to honor that, but we would like to update the Newland sign with the same motif. As you all may know, the hamlet of Newland is the Laurel Hamlet. That's I believe Newland is the Japanese name for Laurel. And so this is basically the design motif. I don't know if everybody saw it.
I did.
It's very similar to what we have in Berryville, but it acknowledges the laurels, and it's just that updated sign. And so this came, we have a specific policy for signage external that we've been paying, since 2019. So all of our signage is covered during an external policy, through NYMER. So the claim amount was $250. And we're able to submit the receipts that are under $4,000 for design fees, production, and installation. So do I have a motion to file the claim and begin the process of replacing the viewing sign?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Also, do I have a motion to adopt local law number 3 for fingerprinting and background checks? We just had a public hearing here. Do I have a motion to approve the new local law?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved.
John?
Yes.
Just a note for the minutes, this is a limited action, it's not subject to secret, it's called type 2 action, so we don't need to do secret again. If we did, I would provide you.
Okay.
But let's just make sure the minutes make it clear that secret is not.
Is it clear? It's not subject to secret?
Yep.
Great, thank you for that color. Okay, so we, the personnel committee met with, I'm sorry, what is your current rank, in Fallsburg? Sergeant. So we met with Sergeant, Jason Edwards, about a month ago. The town board personnel committee gave the advisement, to the town board that we should go ahead and hire Jason Edwards. We've all been provided with, his background. Jason's gonna be doing what's called double tenure. He's gonna finish his duties in Fallsburg until retirement in April. We will come and, hopefully work with us more and put more efforts into the town highland, but we're very excited. So I wanted to see from this town board, do we have a motion to with these simple rules?
I'll make that motion.
But a second,
I'll second that. Oh, go ahead.
Hmm.
I think technically I was first.
you got any, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Could you seal background for Edwards, and also the second part of our screening is needed for adoption resolution. We'll make this appointment here official. Present Jason with his field. Number 20. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, so good evening. Before addressing tonight's court security appointments, the next thing on the agenda, I would just like to officially welcome Jason Edwards to the Town of Highland Constabulary. Jason, a little bit of background that John touched on. Jason currently serves as a full-time police sergeant with the Fallsburg Police Department in Sullivan County, and brings substantial law enforcement, supervisory, emergency response, training expertise to our organization. He is also a state certified EMT and has demonstrated the leadership, judgment, and professionalism we are seeking as we build this agency. We are very pleased to have him join our ranks. We look forward to the experience he will bring our patrol operations in the capacity of patrol supervisor. I'd also like to briefly explain, and this is part 2, the proposed change involving our current court officers after admitting of both residents of Town of Highland that they were living. As part of the rebuilding of Town of Highland Constabulary, we have conducted a comprehensive review of the agency policies, training, equipment, state access, and personnel appointments. During that review, we identified that the current court officer structure should be replaced with a more cleaner, clearer, and more appropriate statutory path for the armed peace officer duties required by the town court, justice court. Patrick and Vinnie have faithfully performed the duties assigned to them by the town for 94 years. The proposed appointments as part-time constables designated as court security will allow them to continue to provide the same primary service under the statutory authority applicable to town constables, together with standardized training, annual firearms qualifications, departmental supervision, accountability, and of course, DCJS recognition. Their assignments will remain limited to court security and will not include routine patrol. Tonight's action is conditional upon written approval from Sullivan County Civil Service. This is not a criticism of individuals involved or a reduction in service to the court. It is a prospective correction intended to place the function on the clearest and most defensible legal and administrative footing available to the town. Our goal throughout this process has been simple: identify areas where the organization can be strengthened, correct them responsibly, and build a professional constabulary that serves the town well for many years. Thank you. So, thank you very much for that, Jason. So, just to sum up what we were saying, so, Vinnie and Patrick have been invaluable members of our community for the past, 5 years, I believe, they've been serving in the court system. 2022, so the past 4 years. So, they've been great. And when we were enacting the constabulary, we set up how we wanted to restaff the constabulary, obviously with people who have been police officers before and people who have the experience and know-how. But we didn't want to leave those guys in the lurch. I mean, they've been serving the community in a big way, but it wasn't necessarily set up correctly where they had an assigned agency within the confines of our town or in general. We were kind of just floating and maybe a direct deal with the court system in general. So what Jason has done with the help of DCJS, which is the Department of Criminal Justice, they've been able to get them compliant and find a pathway to get them compliant. So that's what we're in the process of doing. We've been working with the county to get a classification for them too. So Jason, thank you for all your hard work yet again, and Mike, thank you for all your hard work again. And this time, can you please swear in Constable Edwards?
Sure. Come on up. We have you over the lot.
I, Jason Edwards, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution. Sorry. All right, I'll start me. Do this way. I, Jason Edwards, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of constable for the town of Highland to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Congratulations, look forward to working with you.
Good to see you again. Thank you so much.
Right, Mr. Barnes, we're up.
Okay, so our June meeting, we have finished up the roadside mowing. We had a few days left on the excavator that we rented in June. So I rented a rock breaker and we broke the rocks in the ditches on Lakeview, Corkscrew, and Kern Road to widen the shoulders and deepen the ditches. Huston and Forestburg asked for food trucks for their paving projects. We ditched Airport Road and Clark Road. July 6th, we went out after the 4th of July thunderstorms, clean up the trees. We repaved Fraser Road, Kern Road, Carter Road, which were all dead ends. And we repaved 75% of Court Street Road. Today and yesterday, we were out patching the crossover lights that we replaced on Airport Road and Hillside.
You can call your hard look out there. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but it's been Archtop who's been installing the underwire cables. They were given a grant from Sullivan County. They didn't tell anybody. They didn't tell the town, they didn't tell basically the county or anyone with the hired guns on the job thought that they were installing for Spectrum. Until we talked to the foreman on Monday, he said, go talk to Joe, I don't hear from you, they're very upset. They chose to dig up in front of town hall right before our block party on Sunday, so that wasn't great. And so Joe was able to talk to him. Did anything come out of that conversation except that they're gonna be basically working, are they working on the new town road specifically?
No.
County and state?
Yep.
So basically, they were given a grant to install the infrastructure so they can start charging us and offer their services via Archtop. But right now, they're not providing service. They were thinking, if you look at their website, it says that we're gonna be offered service as of December 2026, so you should see those things roll out. The company will then pay, I hope it's not the same scenario when Spectrum came into our community where they basically, if you weren't already on their roadmap, they would quote you exorbitant amounts to, wire through woods and all kinds of different things, different sections of town where focus is at first. So hopefully our shop, because the county is working with them and got them this big grant, they'll come through a little bit better to provide service to everybody for a reasonable price, with minimal installation fees, so. Fingers crossed, it will be for broadband extension. It will not help cell phone service in our community, unfortunately. With that, we have a presentation from Growing Soul from our friends. Everybody, this is Jessica Weiss.
I'm not sure who was here last year.
Year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grant process is very lengthy one. So we have been working, we started in 22, operating out of Tustin. We have this anaerobic digester for composting. And we work on curriculum, we were dealing with 4-H with it now. So anyway, Tustin wanted the machine out of Tustin. So we got a grant for Liberty to move it to Liberty, and we partnered with Cornell. And we worked with Barbara Moran, who's the head of 4-H. And we taught our curriculum to all 7 out of 8 of the Sullivan County School kids went through our programs. Tri-Valley has like a big farm, sustainable farming program, so they didn't wants to go there. But anyhow, we did a lot of work over specifically with Kelly Krechler and Cherish and with David Valenti. And so we have this curriculum where we teach how to grow food and how to preserve it and how to share it out, how to distribute it, and how to recycle it with composting. So we have this 12-step zero waste programming where we come in, we just start talking about recycling and what we do at the recycling center. And anyway, it's for the students, but it's for the parents as well. And we're working with the county on their composting pilot, which I consulted with them to develop that. So I don't even know if you're available, if you're aware of the fact that we have a composting pilot. And there are buckets for free at transfer stations. You just bring your food scraps. It wasn't very well publicized, but in order to get a grant to develop our own composting system in Monticello, we needed to do a proof of concept. Right now, the compost scraps are going out towards Woodstock. So that's sort of our background. We also do a lot of work with food recovery. So I set up the Food Security Council. We basically work to recover food. We did a lot of work out of the Catskills. And we give farmers tax deductions for donating their produce instead of just donating and getting nothing, but actually it ends up. They can kind of make a little bit more profit, if they make enough money, the tax deductions make a difference in their lives. They actually make more money donating the food than they do selling it. And anyhow, this was all working nice and peachy and we were all partnered up and 2025 came along and Cornell's budget was cut by $2 billion. Because of TDR and our programming is obviously, very free and public. So they lost funding and it was, we needed a new home. I've been working with Aileen Gunther from years before that, telling them we really need to have a security kitchen. And we secured a grant, was it $50,000? $7,000. So we secured a grant for $7,000 that been up and running, and we applied for the same grant. So this is a continuation grant of what we've been doing with Tustin and with Liberty. And it was a $200,000 grant, which is what I discussed what we were going to do. They came back to us and said, we'll give you a 70. Can't give you 200. We don't want to pay for anybody's labor. We don't want to pay for food. We don't want to pay for any of the things that could possibly be considered ADI or be considered something that could be taken away. And so they give us a grant for $10,000 for to continue operating the Compass, the digesting machine, to produce an effluent, which is called second helpings. It's food scrap fed. If you look at where the highway department is on 97 for the town of Tustin, there's like forsythia planted in front of it. Half of forsythia is kind of like wilting away, and half of it's like been blue. That was our proof of concepts. We like one side, they were all bought at Home Depot the same day, we planted the same day. And Cornell went and tested it, so we got approved by the National Organic Farming Institute to use it for food crops. So anyway, what we are left with is that we can produce that. We are moving the horse to the person who knows how to operate it. We'll be looking at it on a daily basis. We talked about initially bringing it here, but I didn't want to be taking any money and time away from the town to be doing that work. So Scott will be doing it on his property, but still open and available to the town. He's working with his kids go to Homestead, and so he's been doing field trips with them and open to the community. But once those are up and running, we would be making the liquid fertilizer available certainly to the town, used for your beautification committees. And usually like on Earth Day, sometime in spring, and then sometime in fall, we just, we have pockets of just anybody can come, the fertilizer to use for that. And the other thing they gave us was $60,000 so that we could write not the curriculum. I don't know how long it's been since we've been in school, but it's one thing to like do a curriculum, it's another thing to actually write it down word for word and make sure that it's that it's appropriate. And so because we're connected to 4-H, it will be a nationally distributed curriculum. Again, we've been working with Eldred and they have a composting program. Dana Valenti is interested in continuing to do work with doing more environmental science around composting at school, which will be working with her. And the piece that we're, trying to remain relevant, so it's not just a written curriculum, is we're encouraging the students to make reels on social media. So we have a cookbook that is, one item that you can grow or what to do with your rotten bananas. And we're just doing a cookbook reels, everything, budgeted under $5 serving, using air fryers and nothing that lights on fire so that children can comfortably make food for themselves and for their families. So that's where we left it. So it went from a $200,000 ask to a $70,000 offer.
Got it. And so for the public, So basically, Jessica worked with Tustin initially and then Liberty initially via the DEC grant. So the town of Highland would act as a pass-through to be in receipt of those funds. I spoke with Supervisor the Mayo and Liberty today, just to get a little background of like, you know, successful points that they saw the program work in their community. Yeah, it was just nice to touch base with another supervisor, which I like to do a lot, you know, with our association supervisors and just get some feedback for, you know, how this fit in with this community and what challenges they kind of learned from and, you know, things that they saw effective, which I know even when you presented to us some of the mechanisms that you guys learned, you immediately told us had been adopted as, so this is how we're gonna do it, to get reimbursed for.
Yeah,
For
it's a reimbursable grant, which doesn't mean like. I do the work and then they pay me, technically, I do the work. You pay me and then they pay you back. So, and what we do is, it's, you know, I do the work, I give you an invoice. You basically write the check out as though it's gone to me, then it goes to them, and then they turn around and pay. So we hold off on cash.
Yeah, Frank was very kind of helpful in that. And so I guess for me, my only question right now is I'd like to get like a sort of, I don't think that we have to vote on it today because I think the town board needs to mull things over a little bit because we have a lot of projects.
Yes, in your folders, there's pages of grant updates in terms of like the grants that we have active currently. And there's an updated scope of work that Jessica was so wonderful to compile. As well as some bullet points in terms of like what that would look like with the town, what our taxpayers get for it. And so I want you to all take a look through and read through what Jessica has provided in terms of the last time she came to present. It was including the kitchen build here. And when we didn't get that funding, we found that funding through a different mechanism. And so now what does this look like? So that everyone kind of has a very clear understanding.
Because initially we were tethering together the Office of Children and Families grant that got us the commercial kitchen here at the Sealand Community Center, and we were going to expand our own food programs. But when we didn't receive the full 200,000, we sort of scaled back and focused in on the things that like the horse and the fertilizer and things that kind of ethos of what our community had already experienced with Jessica, with the Growing Souls program and curriculum within the schools with Cherish and other personnel. So,
And also, not for nothing, one of the reasons that we really needed a commercial kitchen is we had somebody donate 1,500 fresh chickens from a local farm in Louisa Manor. And we couldn't put out a box of chickens at a pantry, and they had to be individually packaged. But you can't do that unless you're in a licensed commercial kitchen. And so we ended up going to the fire station. We've never seen to package them up, but hopefully we would be able to use the kitchen, so it will still be utilized full, but we won't be during the space.
Thank you.
For the town board, does anybody have additional questions? Any questions?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, yeah, I think that we'll give the town board the opportunity to review kind of what you set forth. It's been a pretty lengthy process and proposal, so we want to take our time to make sure we have all the elements. But for the public too, and we were delivered some onions and potatoes that were past their prime to the St. Anthony's Food Pantry recently. And so I was charged with dropping them off at our compost, but it took me about 10 minutes to locate the compost at the transfer station. If for those of you who don't know, it's in the first bay around the right corner. It's behind in the front bays, the large recycling brown kind of catch-all for aluminum, glass, and plastics. It's behind there, but they don't actually let you access it because it is sort of a tripping hazard. There's all kinds of holes coming from that initial container. So they ask you go through the first bay that you see on your left, where you're going to pay at the window. So it's very much hidden and disguised and camouflage within all the things that are going on at the transfer station, but I urge everybody to use it. If you
Spend
have-
some money to get some signage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signage would be a wonderful thing. I
Yeah.
think it all has to come from the county. You know, for us, like, we're happy that we have a transfer station in our town, but we definitely let the county be autonomous over that, you know, we don't do
Right.
much with them. Except for our UDC cleanup is pretty much the only time that we interface with them in a bigger way.
You can also bring it to, other than Neversink and Bethel are privately owned, but all of the county owned transfer stations, you can bring it to, so you're not limited to just bringing it.
The time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay, well, just thank you for all your work on this. I think
Thank
that
you.
we should take a vote at the August meeting so that everybody has the opportunity to ask questions and you can find out answers with email and link, and we'll circle back on this in August.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Laura, did you have any other call outs for our grants right at this time?
Not at the moment. I got a lot of receipts that I'm going through for submission to DASNY for Highland Health Initiative, Town Hall. That's rocking and rolling. I see some more ready for me soon. So we're in the process of submitting all of the paperwork for the grants that are in play, to help with the renovation projects, including the courthouse, which was the last one I didn't mention. So right now it's an intensive spreadsheet, entering data and communicating with our grants coordinator on the DASNY side, on the state side. We have allocated most of the funds for the beautification grant. Maintenance has started, planting has started. We've put over 80 annuals and perennials in the town of Highland to date. We've taken down some rogue dove signs that have been up since 2019, which is wonderful. Thank you to the highway. We also planted some of the planters out here with the leftover flowers and licorice plants for the senior center and community center. Our grant intern, our Sullivan 180 intern, Kate Jaxie, has started. You'll see her in town gardens weeding mostly. Throughout the week, she works during the weekday. In the afternoons is her preferred time, which I told her it was too hot, but she likes it. And so we are now on watering time. So you'll see me out with the tank in the back of my truck, making sure everything stays as hydrated as possible. This part of the summer is the hardest to keep up with in terms of watering. So if you see a dry flower in town and you have a minute to water it, that would help out. But that's in full swing. And the Monarch garden, which will be a new garden on Route 97, where the Eagle observation wooden structure was that we had to take down because it was too badly damaged and dangerous. That's going to be installed during August 11th to the 13th. And we encourage anyone in the public to come and say hello. We have Mama Garden and Company, the Sullivan 180 intern, myself will be there to answer any questions, guide you through what's being planted. It is part of a larger scale state monarch butterfly and pollinator area. And we have a lot of kind gifts that have been given to us through the Agway, through Sullivan 180, of course, plants from Mama and Co. And so the 13th, which is that Saturday, we're gonna, be finished with the installation. And so we'll have a little celebration there to welcome the butterflies. And so that's coming soon. So that'll be installation date August 11th to the 13th, which is a part of the municipal partnership grant.
Thank you for the update. I just wanted to bring the UDC tag grant to everybody's awareness here tonight on the town board. So the tag grant submissions are due at the end of August, and I would like to report the proposal to have Lana Bordelot complete the tag grant application for us. Laura and I have worked on, I think, 12 grant program packages. The last 3 with DASNY have been extremely taxing, just because of the nature of working with DASNY, working with the state, working with Ways and Means. So Lana, who is a New York Times writer, she's the wine editor. She's also been very instrumental in our comprehensive plan. She's been the conduit with the census office. She was able to get our designation changed because the census office had misrecorded our median income as of the 2020 census. So we were not eligible for a lot of grants because it looked like we were making too much money over here. And I think we were trying to assure them, I assure you, we're not all teeming with money and, super affluent, community, but we're, working class community made up of a very, vibrant and diverse group of people, and that includes, wages and backgrounds and things. And so she's been instrumental in really kind of helping us. So, Lana has agreed to work on the TAG grant application, which would allow us to make changes based on the comprehensive plan to our code. It's basically, the incentive is to, be in coordination with the river management plan, which we just became compliant with the river corridor management plan in 2021, which we were awarded, from the UDC for compliance, the previous town board. So we, of course, will support that and stay within those, confines. And Lana proposes this will take about 5 hours every time. So 5 hours at $50 an hour, for working on this project. I think sounds very reasonable. Do I have a motion to appoint Lana Bordelot to apply for the TAG grant with the UDC? I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
I'm happy to second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Thank you very much. At this time, I know it's emergency services, and we talked a lot about our constabulary, but we forgot to mention all the goings on with our block party, which is on Sunday. We're really excited. It's from 12 to 9 in the downtown Four Corners of Uwin. The road will be closed.
Eldred,
I'm sorry, not in Uwin. We're not relocating. We have our St. Patrick's Day. Our block party will be in Eldred. Eldred was chosen because it's sort of our town seat or town center. The event will go from 12 to 9. There'll be road closures basically from Brookside on 55 up through Proctor, Eldred Newland Road. The reason for the closure is that there's going to be a lot of children's activities in the corner piazza yard. There'll be lawn games, prizes, all kinds of great stuff in front of hall space and adjacent to the new Tokyo Drift. There'll be a big tent where there'll be music performances from local bands. Tokyo Drift is going to try to barbecue out on the community, which we're really excited about. And John Conway will be closing the activities there at 5 o'clock. There's also an exhibit, a special exhibit at hall space that's Americana themed. So that's all going to take place between 12 and 5. And then it all sort of shifts up to the counter or to the corner. Lou has a lot of amazing things that he's been planning, and he's doing a ceremony. Can you tell us a little bit about the 50 states ceremony that you've been working on?
I've been working on trying to do a special tribute to the country using representatives of all the different states. Obviously, you don't have to live in the state, but if you want to volunteer and carry a pennant with a state name on it, and we got a little LED candle on the right, we're gonna walk up both sides of the hill where we have our light show by Monument Hiking Farm. 25 on each side, marching up to some great music for the country, and then we're gonna meet some VFWs at the top. We're gonna greet them up there and wait until that whole thing is over, and then I'll lead into the light show. So I'm still looking for like 20 volunteers to participate if you want around 8 o'clock, 50%, right?
Yeah, so the little big band, which is a 8-piece brass band, most of them are veterans, are going to be performing American classics between 6 and roughly 8:30 with a couple breaks in between. There's a super special DJ that's going to be present that you guys may know pretty well. DJ Johnny DeVito. It's like one of the 5 Monteleone guys.
Yeah, so if anyone participates, we still have like 20 states left. If you wanted to represent one, and it's a simple walk up the hill, meet a few veterans on the top, and just pay a nice tribute. There'll be a video playing on the, what do you call it, Frank? I don't know.
The LED, we're calling them
Yeah.
virtual fireworks.
Yeah, whatever. Screen, so it should be a pretty special moment.
Yeah, thank you. It's been really exciting planning this thing, and the most exciting thing to me is we've unearthed the 1976 time capsule. which was submerged at the Macy Battleground for the past 50 years. So there was some water damage, but we put together a really special exposition of all of the time family cards. So you'll see all the cards and remnants of the cards from 1976. There's a lot of special families and special notes to families. One of the first ones that we were able to uncover was the Peckus family, and Sonia's wonderful grandma, Artie, wrote a note to her and sort of blessing to her for the future, which was really special. Some families put in $2 bills. All the organizations in town, from the Rotary clubs and fire departments, put in really wonderful things. So that exhibit is going to be in Town Hall. Town Hall's almost done being renovated. We didn't want to rush anything just to accommodate the exposition. So we are going to put the display up for the 19th on Sunday. That'll be in Town Hall from 12 to 8 on Sunday. And also family members will be able to retrieve the remnants of their family cards at that time. You know, like the Barnes family, for instance, has 5 entries in there, and 3 of them made it. So those are pretty good numbers for you guys, pretty good odds. But there's a lot of special things going on. Also, we're going to be selling new 2026 family cards, so I would urge everybody to grab one of those. They're going to be $25, which covers the waterproofing of the cards. Hopefully, they make it a little bit more intact 50 years from now. We have the Delaware company has been really owning the project, and they're purchasing the vessel. And we're going to be curating along with the Berryville Chamber of Commerce to get local business input. We talked to Harriet Bakers about her handwritten special sheets that are so iconic and wonderful, and we'll reach out to a lot of the other businesses. So there's a lot of great things going on. And again, there's also activity at the Sunshine Hall Free Library. There's 2 performances, one by Mike Edison and one by the River Ramblers, Stacey Cohen and her family Diane. That's going to be between 12 and 3 at the library. Jesse Lazar at Sullivan Public is going to be doing flag making, American flag in the style of Jasper Johns with kids and families. So there's activities all over the place. So just so you know, there's alternate routes being set up. We coordinated all of our traffic flow with state DOT, county public works, and the sheriff's department. And for anybody that's disabled or elderly or has trouble getting around with any mobility issues, we're going to have a Jenna vehicle. So the major parking is going to be at the school. So you can take a golf cart, essentially, that will be driven by one of the sheriff's deputies to get around and to get to the different activities around. So if you do park up at the school, they'll be radioing how to get everybody where they need to go. You can also park along 55 because the road will be closed. We have the turnaround at the Sullivan County Public Works Building, so people can turn around there. Through traffic will be permitted up to Brookside, and all of the local residents will be notified with a letter, just given the traffic patterns along with 55. Are there any questions about the block party in 12 to 9 on Sunday? Okay.
John, was the emergency services notified about the road closures?
Yeah, they've been.
The fire
everybody's been-
department?
Yep,
They were
yeah,
notified?
everybody's been given a traffic plan.
When were they notified?
They were notified more than 2 weeks ago. I believe 3 weeks ago, they were given.
Can you please send them out another email on that?
Sure, yeah, we can send that out. And we worked with the sheriff, not under sheriff, have been extremely helpful. Offering those GEM vehicles to everybody, I think is a big.
No, that's great.
Also at the town hall, which is really exciting. Uland Fire Department is going to be doing a touch a truck event for kids. The Highland Lake Fire Department is going to have their river rescue demonstration set up for all the wonderful river rescues that they've enacted, and show people how that kind of is done and all their expertise there. And the thing I'm most excited about, I will be in the dunk tank for the Highland Ambulance Service, so I hope to make them a lot of money. I believe it's either $5 or $10.
Yeah, they have to sign it.
Okay, they're going to decide whether it's $5 or $10 a toss, but I hope to get in there. I'm sure I'll get wet a couple times, and I hope I make them a lot of money. So there'll be a line all the way down to 55. I asked to be the first one in, so hopefully that all happens without hitch.
12 to 5.
12 to 5 for the dunk tank. Okay. Yeah, get there. You're going into. How about that? All right, is there any other questions, or Tom, do you have anything else with emergency?
The only
services?
thing you and I have to discuss is we have to get a meeting together with FinCom. For
Yeah,
emergency services protocol, as
so
well as security issues.
I have that listed a little bit lower down with code as well.
Okay,
Because the ambulance has been in touch with the code. Planning board chair, and they also want to talk to code about it as well. There needs to be like a safety protocol on the books, but we can talk about that.
okay. I just want to make sure it
Yeah.
gets scheduled.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Also with buildings, Frank or Tom, do you guys have any updates?
Well, as far as the town hall goes, the construction part is complete. They will be sheet rocking tomorrow. As far as being almost done, we probably have another month of construction to complete it 100%. I want you to be aware when you take a look at when you're going on Sunday to take a look at the
Main,
display that's going to be set up. It won't be 100% complete. The walls will be sheetrocked, it'll be clean, it'll be safe, secure. And you can view what was in the time capsule. But, that's where we stand. Frank, if you want to elaborate on what we completed, in the last couple of days with the wiring
It's a
and.
time, well, yeah, it's gonna be clean, it's gonna be safe, and, you can see we haven't had our hands in our pockets.
No, you should say, there's been a lot going on.
Yeah, I just want to give a special shout out to both Frank and Tom. They've been working 24/7. I know Laura's been working on their after hours as well. So thank you guys. I know this is like your area of expertise, which we don't want to take advantage of. You know, Tom works in this field, so does Frank and Maura. So we're using their expertise and not paying for it outside of their very meager wages as town board members. So thank you for all the extra time and expertise that you guys have put into these projects. We really appreciate it. I also wanted to talk just briefly about, so we received word that there was a couple of trees that needed to be removed at Montosa Cemetery. The town maintains that. We do have a representative that looks after it. Couple residents told us about the trees being kind of precarious. So at this time, I'd like to see if we can put a bid out for tree removal at Montosa. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Okay, circling back to this, so there's been one fatality at Kittatinny this year. And several other calls that have taken place there, kind of not. It's not consistent with the number of calls that usually happen there. So since the project is looking towards expansion, it was suggested that. Through the emergency services that we do a sort of safety protocol review in the expansion or build it into the plan. Because we want to set them up for success and we want to make sure everybody is safe that visits our town and community. So Frank and Laura, how would you guys like to key that? Do you want to bring in emergency services and talk to the code and the planning board? Tom and I have to do something separate,
okay,
with
yeah.
emergency service protocol, but I'm sorry to talk.
No, that's fine.
I'm in the process of setting just a check-in date with code anyway. So maybe we just piggyback that meeting and have the first half be emergency services, planning board, chair. And discuss, what really. In terms of communication, how we can best,
So you're.
ensure the applicant.
Emergency Services Committee,
Yeah.
Code Committee.
Yeah.
Representatives from
Yeah.
Highland
Yeah.
Lake and the ambulance service.
Yeah.
And then potentially our constabulary is gonna be on board.
Yeah, and like maybe Sonia or Mary or Melissa can come and take notes so that if Frank and I are there, it can be a regular committee meeting with notes that we can share with the rest of the board. But I just think everybody in the room, we should get as many of those personnel in the room so that everyone hears the same thing and has a moment to speak and offer ideas, because I would hate for that project to go forward any further without some recommendations from our end.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, it was brought to us by one of the members of the Emergency Services Committee that maybe some protocol things do need to be reviewed, so,
Yeah,
I think it's important. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, so I guess I will.
I'll update the board on that date
Okay,
and let's put a list together of key personnel who need to be in that room. And maybe Sonia, you and I can touch base on someone to take
Yeah.
notes. Okay,
okay.
thank you.
Tell me you're happy with that, like we'll set a date and we'll just check.
Absolutely.
Okay. We got it. All right, discuss the comprehensive plan update, again, we set the public hearing. Chris, can you update us on the, I'm sorry about the missed on the agenda, can you update us on the last program?
Many of you know Marty Polavito, who is the executive director of SALT, Sullivan Islands Leading Together. Kind of a gift to our county, he's somebody that looks out for people quite a lot across a lot of different stresses, food security, transportation, housing, income. He runs a program called WISE for seniors that he's been offering for many years to bring to this senior facility. Recently, Scotty, who was recently elected as the president of the Seniors Association, invited him in, and so there's a 6-week curriculum that WISE offers to bring seniors up to speed on the resources, some skills. I know Martha has been a part of it. Some skills, there's some working together on trying to navigate some of the challenges that are especially prevalent in the senior community. I think it's about 8 or 9 people that have come. It's a 6-week session. They've already completed 4. It's here in the center on Mondays from 11 until 1 with 2 left. But please, if you can, if you feel that you've got some questions about what it's like to live as a senior in this community, it's probably a great opportunity. And you get a chance to work with Marty. He's really. Any questions about it? Or?
No, you said that you'd like to host the.
Once we open the Highland Health Facility, we will move that as make it a regular function for the Highland Health Facility as well.
Great. Well, thank you for that update. I did meet with Commander Pete Carmucci. He wanted to remind the public that there are raffle ticket sales for the Veterans Day raffle, which is always a big highlight of that event. And then they'll be doing their annual poppy sales at Hex in Eldred and also at Pete's in Narrowsburg, July 31st through August 2nd. That's their biggest fundraiser of the year. So everybody please buy some poppies. Frank, did you want to update us on the attendance tracker?
Yeah, the attendance tracker, minor glitch, it's off the ADP and the, I'd like to get the final details so we can work out this $69.95 a month for the contractor, and he made a mistake because he just said it was once a month and we double the process of payroll once a month. Then we process it twice, so in essence, it would be double. So I wasn't very happy about it. Big T knows that, and he's supposed to come back with a comparable proposal.
Okay.
So I'm just delayed, maybe to the next one, we can figure out what we're gonna get.
Thank you for doing that research. I appreciate it. Thanks for pushing back.
Yeah.
They're a big company.
I'm like, what did it on?
Well, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. At this time, do I have a? I'm sorry? Oh, sure. Okay, so, we received a mandatory, cyber training, mandate. The webinar is set for August 11th, at 9 AM. That's the same day as our meeting and as our public hearing, at 9 AM, so it's nothing, there's something required. So who do you think from our technology department, I don't know if that's Laura or Frank, is excited to take this new something, which is on August.
Everyone has to, I
The
thought.
whole board?
Yeah,
Personnel, local government personnel.
yeah, the whole like staff in town hall has to take it.
Why can't you just dump it on us? Just kidding.
That's not how it works.
And everybody make.
Everyone, because
It's a
we,
Tuesday.
we had cybersecurity issues in years past. I highly recommend
Yeah, we-
staff
So-
sit
so-
through it. It's not that long.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
done it before.
Is everybody comfortable?
I could always check and see if there's room with me. We have to be mandated by the first of the new year 2027.
That's a web.
Yeah, you can take it from home or,
Oh, we can do it.
Okay.
You don't have to meet the full thing.
no.
That's why.
Oh, yeah, we could do it on the smart board.
Okay, so yeah, we'll host it town hall.
Yep.
And for anybody who can make it to town hall, we'll all just sign up from another spot. Okay, at this time, I'd like to see if I have a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing employment and protocol corresponding with New York State requests. Do you have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Then a second? I'll second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any extensions? It's 8:01. We will return as soon as possible from executive session. I'll second it. Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
All opposed?
Who first did? Who first did? Who made the motion? Okay, thank you.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. 8:23, no financial decisions, were made, nor board action taken. All right, and, was there one thing, Laura, you wanted to include?
Oh, yeah, I just, we glossed over the code report. There's, I just wanted to report that in addition to like open and close violations in your files, we have 19 permits for this month, since the last, meeting, that are open, including swimming pools, solar, residential applications, new builds, new homes, bringing in a total of $5,083.40. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, do I have a motion to pay general abstract number 7-2026, claims 195.241 in the amount of $148,392.69?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, Chris. So moved. Do I have a motion to pay highway abstract number 7-2026, claims number 85/98 in the amount of $38,144.50? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? I abstain. So moved. Do I have a motion to pay Elder General Streetlights number 6-2026, claim number 6 in the amount of $132.72?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right?
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Do I have a motion to pay Sullivan 180 grant abstract number 2-2026, claims number 3 in the amount of $45.90?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. The town of Highland at the board meeting on July 14, 2026, introduced and passed the following resolution. Whereas modifications are required for the 2026 general budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the following budgetary transfers be made to the 2026 general budget from line A 960 appropriations, A 1420.2 attorney litigation for $1,490, A 1990.4 contingency for $1,941.93, to line A 960 appropriations, A 1420.1 attorney personal services 1490, A 3120.2 police equipment $1,941.93 for a total of $3,431.93. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Do I have a motion to end the general meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
What about public comment?
Yes,
I'm gonna end them.
do I have a second? I'll second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved.